Good morning and welcome to 50 and Starting a Business. Today we're going to continue focusing on how to build a successful YouTube channel and the different areas that go into it. And primarily because even though my channel, I want to ultimately be about how to build an actual business, from what do you need to do to register your business and get a tax ID number, how do you get it registered with the state and the federal government if necessary, and your licenses, building a business plan, or writing a business plan, I should say, so you can get funding, and then have it go from there. How do you budget? How do you forecast? How do you decide what investments to make? Because that is a bit of my expertise from business school and my years on Wall Street analyzing public companies. I've had to learn a lot about YouTube and how does YouTube work and what's the best way to post and develop your content. And ultimately, I'd like my content to grow. If I'm going to spend the time and effort to produce these videos, I'd like people to see them. Otherwise, I wouldn't produce the videos, right? So how do you build a successful channel? So what I've learned is that there really is no right way. There's the way that usually works, and then there's the exceptions. And I think the exceptions happen not so much because the content is produced better, better video, better lighting, better this. It's because the niche that person's gone into, right? So again, I mentioned him all the time. I thought he was fascinating. He presented very well, but his content was about woodworking. So Lincoln Street woodworkers or woodworking. You'll probably get it if you put in Lincoln Street wood. I have no interest in woodworking. I mean, whatever. I like it. I like seeing nice molding or what have you. I don't do it. I don't know how to do it. But he had a video on how he built his channel, and he did it within 10 months and made $36,000 or over $36,000. My content's not that unique. So I think I'm going to be more the norm, because YouTube has gotten so big that there aren't going to be a lot of niches that you can kind of fill a void and create content that doesn't already exist. So knowing that, I wanted to kind of take a step back and say, okay, so what works for the regular person? I have some social media followers. I think I have like 1,000 on my personal Facebook page, because I'm a triplet mom, and that's kind of unique. So I joined that group. I have a couple thousand for my wealth management business. I have nothing for 50 and Starting a Business. I think I might have like 3 Twitter followers, working on that. So I'm really starting from scratch. Knowledge base, followers base, view base. Nobody really knows who I am other than, my family and work colleagues, which again, they're probably not even watching this because they might know more than me or the same as I do. Anyway, so the first thing you need to do is figure out your target. And what I've learned is that, you need to make a niche. So, I'm catering to people 50 years old and older, or at least more mature, right? So the average YouTube audience is below 30. So right there, I think I'm kind of at a disadvantage, because there's not a lot of 30-year-olds out there. Let's be honest, is a man gonna wanna watch me give this video, or I don't know, a 25-year-old in a sexy outfit or something? I'm gonna go with someone wanna watch me and keep producing my videos. But you need to know kind of who's your target audience, what's your niche, who are my competitors, what do their videos look like? I mean, when I started kind of going through videos more, I realized, my thumbnails weren't good. I've tried different backdrops in my house. I like this one the best. Not sure why, but I like my books. I don't know if you can see my candle burning. I've got my candle over here. And then you have to kind of realize, like, do I have the core skills that are necessary to produce videos? And some of the core skills are, your body language, talking to the camera. Do you speak clear English? Are you putting in a lot of likes in your nose? And I've noticed I have this little tick sometimes that I go, and I swallow. I edit a lot of them out. So if you ever watch my videos, you're like, what is she editing out? It's like my random swallowing in the middle of these. I'm trying to work on it and be cognizant of it, but then sometimes I start thinking about it and then I lose my train of thought of what I'm saying. But so you should have the core skills. And again, like as you produce videos, you'll find out what works. This is the first or the second video that I'm doing where I'm not sitting in a chair, I'm kind of leaning on the back of this bookcase cabinet thing, so you're seeing more of my body. So I don't know, does that work better than when I'm more up front? Just kind of playing around a little bit because I am in the early stages to see what would work better for my audience, or where do I look better. I think probably further away you see less wrinkles than when I'm up front, or when I smile and you see my gums. I'm going to edit that out, by the way. Or I won't, because I'm not really that vain. Everybody has something. So one of the things that I realize I don't do to help build a YouTube channel is I haven't been asking anyone to subscribe, and I haven't been asking anyone to like my videos. I have been putting links in the description for other videos, and I'll have a video about the description, because again, like, they're just things that I've done that I've had to go back and kind of revamp, and I still have to go back and revamp just to make sure that I'm, optimizing my chances to be seen by the search engine. And then you need to have. Good morning. Welcome to day 17 of how to start a business. Today we're going to focus on how to build a successful YouTube channel. I'm choosing to do this versus continuing on with the business plan write-up and how to get business plan and funding and forecasting, which I'm going to go back to, because I realized that there was a lot of mistakes I was making, and instead of continuing on with the actual building of a business on paper and to get funding, I wanted to take a break and talk to you about what I have learned about building a successful YouTube channel. I have done a lot of research. I have watched probably about 10 to 20 videos, watching them late at night. I've been reading blogs, trying to understand, because I realized last night that there was a whole bunch of stuff I didn't understand and I was doing incorrectly. So this is what I've learned so far. When you start a YouTube channel, most people say produce content and just get videos on there and get it up and just start. And if you see that is what I did. Now I'm 2 weeks in. I'm about 25 videos in, I think, and I have 330 views. Actually, I don't. I have 430 views. So, and I might be off on that number because I produced this video like 2 days before I go live, because I do a lot of editing and all of that, which I'll discuss later. But they say to produce 20 videos because you get better with a camera. So my very first video, if you look, is portrait. So it took me a couple of videos to realize it was portrait. Then I realized my thumbnails weren't doing so well. One day, I don't know why I hadn't brushed the back of my hair, and then I'm pointing to my whiteboard, and then I was like, oh God, that just doesn't even look good. So I'm learning more about how to present not only myself visually, hand gestures. I've tried different areas in my room, or in our house, sorry. Some were pretty boring and plain. One showed a lot of family pictures, which my husband was like, oh, don't show a ton of family pictures. I didn't even realize that it was just in my office. And yeah, the back wall is just covered with family pictures. My books I love. So if you produce content, one, you also get to see like the length of time that you need, how many words you need to get your video to the optimal length, which I'll produce a video on that. I believe the optimal length is 11 minutes, but I'll discuss that more in another video. That's been hard to track down because nobody wants it. It depends. And I'm like, oh my gosh, no, just please, I want a number. I'm a math person. Give me an answer. But so if you produce 20 videos, it helps a lot with getting the kinks out. Number 2 is idea direction. So I've kind of shifted, and even last night I was like, oh, I want to be a math teacher. I've always wanted to be a math teacher. I could create a YouTube channel to be a math teacher. And I was really thinking about having this second channel going about being a math teacher. And then I realized I don't have the capacity. I have a job. I work in wealth management. I have a company that I do that's all offline. It does have a website, but it's all offline, and I don't have the capacity to have 2 channels going. And then this was going to be all about, what I learned in business school to build a business. What do you need to think about in terms of market analysis, competitive analysis? How do you do forecasting with an Excel spreadsheet? It's really easy. How do you do budgeting? All that kind of stuff. Because I feel like a lot of people don't know the ins and outs of Excel, and I don't even get crazy with Excel. But there's easy ways to do it, and I thought that would be fun to teach. But as my business right now is this YouTube channel that I'm trying to build out. I've had to do a ton of research on this YouTube channel to figure out keywords and hashtags and closed captioning and reiterating, you know, how to make my videos better and everything better. So I thought I would just take a break from that other part and actually, you know, if you're building a YouTube channel, what is it you need to know? Sorry, my dog is gonna join us in a second. This is Jack. He might be too short. So then the other is like, what are the core skills that you need to make a video? And again, it's body language, eye contact, voice projection, what works in terms of scenery and backdrop. I've seen some people with just a whiteboard and talking, and then others, there's actually no person and it's just all graphics. I'm not a big fan of that, but it depends what you like. I don't know how to do that, which might be why I'm not a fan. I don't mind watching it. But again, I like to have more of a connection with the person on the other side of the screen that's teaching me, rather than have, like, you know, cartoons or what have you. Number 4 is transitioning. So understanding like your success. So once you have 20 videos out and you've kind of got your kinks out, you know, then you get 20 more out and you kind of go back and you look at, okay, how can I keep everything the same and build upon my success? Do I need to transition to another topic? You know, this topic of YouTube and how to build a successful YouTube channel and the search engines and the, you know, hashtags and keywords, it's inundated. I mean, if you go look, you can see a ton of videos out there. So why would somebody watch mine? Hopefully they like my channel and other content and they're building a channel. And they like the fact that it's, you know, I want answers. So when I go and want to know how long my videos should be, I understand it depends, but also if you can give a number and then the reasoning behind it, that's easier than just all of this it depends scenario. And again, I think that most people, if you're building a channel because you'd like to get monetized, then that's the goal. I mean, I'd like to be monetized, like don't get me wrong, if I grow my channel big enough and YouTube wants to pay me for my content, I will take the money and save it. If I don't, at least hopefully I'm being helpful and I'm creating videos where other people can learn from my mistakes.